What's up, everybody? This is another episode of SPORTS-REUBEN-LIFE coming at you here. I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm going to talk about LeBron James and what is this guy doing he's like basically telling Father Time, like, hey, man, stay away, dude. Beat it, you loser. I can't take this, dude. Get out of here. LeBron James is doing what he's doing this year. This whole idea of like a revenge tour, or whatever you want to call this baloney, he's just performing tremendously, dude. He's really putting himself in a category that's it, dude. Like, you're not gonna, like, he's getting Michael Jordan level status. If he wins a ring this year, it's gonna be hard. He's becoming what people say sorry about adjusting all this other stuff. He's becoming what people say in the sports industry or entertainment industry, undeniable. What's the argument that this guy is not great? The best of all time? I talked about that in another video, these countless videos that I've done, that it's like, you can't say he was the best of all time because every era has different requirements, right? Like this era is a very unique one because of this whole thing with social media, where you have to be very apt at being able to speak in front of a camera, right? A lot of even entertainers are like that now, where in the past, people like Jack Nicholson didn't do interviews. They didn't talk to people. They didn't do anything that was necessary. You just performed at a high level, and you were a star. People knew who you were. On the silver screen, they saw you out. Jack Nicholson, they saw him at Laker games when it was showtime. And like that whole idea that like it was a mystery of who you were, there was value to that in Hollywood back then. But now in today's age of information and knowledge, and they want to know who you are, it's a different thing, right? So for you to say that Michael Jordan couldn't live in this era and vice versa, I have to disagree with it 100%. You can't say that Bill Russell was better than Magic and Magic was better than this and Jordan and LeBron. In this era, LeBron James, nobody's been doing it better than LeBron James. There have been people that have had more rings, but in terms of his ability to connect with his fans, right? Connecting with your fans is the most important thing, right? The way that you connected with your fans back in the day was through mystery and intrigue, and people didn't know about you, so they wanted to know about you. That's the way things were done back in the day. Michael Jordan, you go back, and it's like, that's the way it was. You didn't go on podcasts, you didn't have HBO shows, you didn't have all that kind of stuff, right? So before we really, I'm not going to get into that type of debate about who was the best or who was the greatest or who was this or who was that. He's doing it at a level in this era that is unprecedented, right? In the next 10 years, somebody's going to do it different, right? And they're going to say that person was the greatest of all time. So that's why all these pundits, all these people that quote unquote know the game of basketball, they can give you their opinion of the whole situation. But to squash all that, to bring it to reality, the situation is there is nobody that's the best of all time. It's impossible to say that. Could, Will Chamberlain and Bill Russell and all that, they dealt with that. That was in a time of extreme racism, dude. Do the players of nowadays, would they have the resolve and the fortitude and the patience and the calm and the understanding to be able to deal with that? We don't know that. We don't know that. So to people say that LeBron James is not that good, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Look what he's doing. He's got his Lakers winning oodles and oodles a game. He has a tremendous team in front of him. He's got Anthony Davis, which is a star. He's got Kyle Kuzma, which is a budding star. He's got veterans and Rajon Rondo and all these other role players that Dwight Howard, he's a bit player in LeBron James's Broadway show, right? The great Dwight Howard is willing to be the equivalent of a tree in a Shakespeare movie, and he's having a good time. That's where LeBron James's intrinsic value shows itself. That's where it is expanded upon. That's where LeBron James is what we call a force multiplier. When you have a really good player in Dwight Howard, because I never use Hall of Fame, future Hall of Fame, we never use that term, because you're not in the Hall of Fame until you're in there. I don't like that future shoe and Hall of Famer. Beat it with that, okay? Dwight Howard is an amazing player, and if his motivation is to win a championship ring, LeBron James knows that, and he's like, come on, let's go, get over here, I got you, let's go. You don't have to be everything. You just have to be 100%. Give me your 100%, and whatever that is, I gotta take that, put it in the mix, and I gotta make this into a souffle that nobody can resist, right? That's what LeBron James is doing for the Los Angeles Lakers and NBA basketball, okay? The Golden State Warriors are in a state of disarray right now, okay? They don't have Jerry West right now, so are the Golden State Warriors going to be able to rebound? We don't know. But right now, the good is the Los Angeles Lakers and the LeBron James show, right? He won a championship in Miami. He won a championship in Cleveland. Everybody says, yeah, but other players, they did this. I don't want to hear any of that, dude. You got to get out of here with all that nonsense, right? Beat it with this idea that LeBron James is not amazing in his abilities and what he's been able to do as a player in this season. They got rid of a lot of young prospects, dude. Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Julius Randle, Ingram, right? That was a starting five. That's like a Fab Five in NCAA. All those guys were tremendous, right? You gave all that up to build what you're doing now, and it's working, right? Experiment thus far, the LeBron James experiment thus far, a success this year. We have first place in the NBA, right? And I say we because obviously I'm a little biased because I'm a Lakers fan. I'm a diehard Lakers fan. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and I'm an obvious Kobe Bryant fan and a Magic Johnson fan, right? Magic Johnson, because of Showtime, he brought back this new whatever we want to call it. I'm going to figure out a term for what we got now. We might call it the new time. We might call it LeBron James already did kind of coin it. He called it the revenge tour, right? He called it the revenge tour. So anyway, that being said, I like what LeBron James is doing. I called it and I said it. Last year I predicted 60 wins. They were on pace for that. Obviously injuries did a number on the whole thing. He needed a little bit of rest. That guy was running at 1,000 miles an hour for the last 15 years. Who could do that? Nobody can do that. You can't even work at McDonald's for 15 years at a high level and not get burnt out. Needless to say, play in the NBA, okay? I'm not saying that McDonald's is not a quality job. I'm just saying that any job, I'm relating it to any job that you do for 15 years at a high level, it's going to take its toll on you mentally, physically. I think, but what I will say is this. It's obvious and clear that LeBron James has a power that he's drawing from, which is called his family and his friends. He's leaning on a lot of people in his circle. And that's another good reason why I wanted to talk about LeBron James. And this video is going longer than I thought, but I don't care because all these concepts I want to get out. But this is the last thing here. All right? The last thing is the concept that he's able to lean on his team to make the Lakers work, right? It's not about making them winners. If they don't win the championship this year, they're the most entertaining story in basketball, okay? And that's where you build, okay? When other teams just win and they don't do anything extraordinary, you keep the fans that you have that are existing, right? These type of stories that LeBron James is putting out, the activism, the building the school, all this other stuff, you're building the NBA. You're growing something. That right there is not treading water, right? This is not treading water. What you're watching is not treading water. He's not a salmon that can't swim upstream. He's the salmon that is jumping out of the water and making headway. It's a very interesting and appealing a concept of excellence. This is the reason why you contrast it with somebody like Kawhi Leonard, and it's the antithesis, the opposite of what we're witnessing with what's going on in Los Angeles with LeBron James, right? It's almost like good versus evil in terms of altruistic behavior and the betterment of the NBA. And I dare to suspect, I dare to predict the future that the Clippers are not going to win a championship, because if they win a championship under these circumstances, it's going to be disingenuous to the growth of the NBA. And the NBA took a big hit with what happened earlier as a PR nightmare, because one of their owners took everything out of context and made a big boo-boo. So they do not need anything that detracts from growth. LeBron James is a huge distraction to what's going on. He's probably going to be able to mend the fences with a country that no longer wants to have them there, right? And if he does that, that's going to be his opus to this year, which means if he's able to mend that fence somehow, and he's already started doing it, he's already been putting the feelers out there. And if you've been paying attention and you read the tea leaves and you watch a lot of the articles and you put them all together, he's doing it in pieces. He's going to be the ambassador that the NBA as a whole needs to mend fences that were almost irreversibly damaged. That's where LeBron James is at in this world, right? That's where LeBron James stands right now. So if you say that he's not the greatest of this era, you're mistaken 42 trillion times over, right? I watched this Science Channel where they were saying the most expensive element in the world costs $27 trillion a gram, and that's antimatter. LeBron James is the antimatter of failure. He's the opposite of failure. The NBA is so lucky to have somebody like him that he's putting the whole NBA on his back in terms of this. And I know this is like, I'm really, kissing this guy's behind. But all I'm saying is take a look at what's really going on with the NBA and the Lakers, and you're going to be impressed with what this guy's been able to do. So that being said, if you like this video, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. This video went long again. I can't help but talk. All right? If these videos are 10 or 12 minutes, I don't know what to do. What am I going to cut these in two pieces and make two different videos? I don't want to do that. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.